Welcome to Dr. GMAT, your guide to scoring 700 plus on this test. Today I would like to go over an area that some students find somewhat confusing. However, if studied with care and practice, this area is not as hard. And as you can see on the screen, coordinate geometry is what I'm talking about. So let's take a brief overview of what you have to know at a minimum to ace this portion of the test. So what's coordinate geometry? Well, do you remember XY plane? And if not, well, does this picture ring a bell? You can see x-axis right here, where my pointer is, and y-axis along the vertical. And obviously you have 4 quadrants, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So let's see, what do you need to know? Well, at minimum you would be expected to know equation of line and different forms. You should know how to find slope. You should know how to find distance between 2 points and find midpoint between 2 points. Again, this is what you need to know at least as a minimum, and obviously there is more to it. Just scratching the surface here. So what's slope? It's basically rise over run. In other words, slope is change in y over change in x. Let's look at an example. How do you find slope? So here I have 2 points, 1 and -4, and -2 and 2. So if you look at the solution, I'm labeling the first set of points, 1 and -4, as x1 and y1, and the other set of points, -2 and 4, I'm labeling it as x2 and y2. Now if you look at the slope formula that I'm using, slope is identified as m. You'll see that in the equation of the line further a few slides down the road. So the change in y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, so you just plug in these numbers that I have labeled above, and you just plug these in, and bam, you get your slope. Pretty easy, huh? Now let's look at the equation of the line. We have different forms for equation of the line. The simplest one is called slope-intercept form. As you can see, it's a pretty straight, simple equation. Y equals to mx plus b, where m is your slope and b is your y-intercept. That's where the line intersects the y-axis. Basically, you're setting x to 0. And then you have point slope form, and you use it when you're trying to find a point on the line, and it's pretty much straightforward. You can take a point. If you have the slope, you can find the equation of the line. Now what's horizontal line? Well, here I'm using an example, y equals to 3. Lines that are horizontal basically have 0 slope. That means they have no run, no rise, and you should just know that the slope is 0 for a horizontal line. And there's a simple example. Vertical line form. Vertical lines actually have no slope. It actually doesn't exist. So for this test, just remember, vertical lines have no slope and horizontal line has 0 slope. Now another thing you should know is how to calculate distance between 2 points. Here's the formula. Basically, you take 2 points that you're given, and you just plug in the x coordinate and y coordinates, and just get your answer. Let's look at an example. So here I have 2 points, and I'm doing the same thing that I did a little while ago. I'll label them. For the first point, I've labeled it x1, y1, and the second point I've labeled it as x2, y2. Now just plugged in the numbers in the formula that I just showed you. X2 minus x1 squared plus y2 minus y1 squared, and everything is under a square root. So once you simplify this, you just take the square root, and that's the distance between these 2 points. Midpoint. Here is the formula to calculate midpoint. x1 plus x2 divided by 2, y1 plus y2 divided by 2, and you'll get 2 numbers. I mean, basically x and y, that makes up your point, and that would be your midpoint. So let's look at an example. So here I have 2 points, A and B. I'm just plugging the numbers into the formula. As you can see, minus 4 plus 4 is x1 plus x2, or here it's xa plus xb, which is the same as x1 and x2. So you basically are playing with x1. You basically are labeling your points x1, y1, x1, y2, and you're using it in your slope formula, you're using it in your midpoint formula, you're using it in your distance formula. So I hope this helps, and again, this was a brief overview of coordinate geometry. There is a lot more to it. Again, I will stress that success is achieved by continuous improvement and not by guessing. So practice, and practice that's what will make your score go above 700 plus. If you have any question, you can certainly email me, and good luck on the test.